Hello everyone and welcome to race 13 of the MRNCS here at Sears Point International Raceway for the Save Mart Kragen 150K. Alright, the command has been given and here's your starting lineup. Marcus Ambrose got the pole with a lap time of 100.864 miles per hour, and in fact 24 drivers would qualify within 1 mile per hour of the pole time. Nobody new inside of the top 10. We'll notice that 4 teams opted for road course ringers for this race and for Watkins Glen. Matteo Giuliano is the highest starting of them. He will be starting 18th in place of Reed Sorensen, who is down in the dumps in points and desperately needs the owner points. Got to be in that top 35 for next season or you aren't qualifying. Alex Bowman with a surprisingly high 23rd position for qualifying. Brian Scott with a surprisingly low 28th. And Brett Keselowski all the way back in 31st. Both of those drivers not doing very well. The other road course ringers are Max Pappas in the 13. He'll start 33rd. Juan Pablo Montoya in the 40. He'll start 39th. And Boris said in the 98. He'll start 41st. Hopefully they can actually start getting up towards the front and not end up getting wrecked. We have an interesting points battle here in the MRNCS, obviously. And it's pretty much headlined right now by Jeff Gordon and Matt Kenseth. They are at the bitter end with each other. But as of right now, Gordon seems to have the upper hand. So can Matt Kenseth possibly finish ahead of the road course legend himself, Jeff Gordon? Of course, we've got another legend, the former V8 Supercar champion, Marcus Ambrose, starting on that inside lane. He's won a couple of road course events already here in NASCAR, so we know that he's a very fast driver, especially when we get to these road courses. Ryan Newman, hoping to avoid trouble for the first time in God knows when. He's currently just barely ahead of that 628 point boundary. He's hoping to stay in front of that and at least be considered to be running for the championship by the end of Richmond. Now we'll come to the sharpest corner of the track down here. The hairpin of NASCAR, basically. Flat, no banking, 180 degree, completely objective right-hander. It's basically the opposite of Martinsville. But Martinsville at least has 7, 8, 9 degrees of banking. Can't remember which. That guides you through that corner. That corner has no banking. Anyways, they come to the line. The green flag is out and we are underway here from Sears Point. Couple cars lagging behind. And Marcus Ambrose will lead them through the first set of S's here at Sears Point. Here they come up through the second set. Gordon fighting back. Fighting Marcus Ambrose back. Gordon will take the lead. Gordon now has the lead from the 9 car. He intends to keep it. Ryan Newman and Matt Kenseth are still battling each other. That is for the 3rd position. Looks like Newman's going to get 3rd. Johnson goes into 5th as he passes another road course legend in NASCAR, Tony Stewart. And Gordon swings wide into the dirt. Does Ambrose have enough momentum to catch him? You don't see... Oh, and we got 2 cars around. And that 16 car is toast. Caution is out. Here's what happens. The 99 just... Oh. 99 just drove it into the corner too hard. Collected his teammate. Biffle will be out of the race. race back to the line. And Kenseth barely edging out Tony Stewart there. Anyways, we'll restart here on lap 4. The green flag would fly back out. Jeff Gordon leading a pretty much single file barrage. Trevor Bayne trying to pick up a position there from Truex. Look at Danica Patrick trying to get outside of the top 30, trying to get inside rather of the top 35. And now Ambrose has reclaimed the lead from Jeff Gordon. So now we see Marcus Ambrose back out to the lead, and now Gordon's starting to slip back. We're possibly going to see Tony Stewart try to get around that 24 car now. Jimmie Johnson starting to creep closer as well. And, well, Ambrose, Newman swinging very wide. I think everybody there in the top 5 swung, whatever. I'm not professing grammar. Whatever. All I know is that they exceeded the track boundaries. That is a no-no. And Jeff Gordon trying to pass Ryan Newman. No dice. Newman will keep second, rather. And boy, if Newman will finish second, it won't help him get any further from the 628-point boundary, but it will gain him a lot of positions. As you probably know, Ryan Newman is pretty much out on the fringes of the points. We see a bunch of people in pit road for minor incidents. Yeah, he's on the outs as far as points are concerned. I think he's something like 30th. And Matteo Giuliano getting aggressive early. He's well over the curbstones. And Stewart going to try to pass Jeff Gordon. Way into the dirt goes Stewart. Not a good idea. The S's is typically, they are not a good place to pass. The S's are just not a good place to pass. Meanwhile, Marcus Ambrose continues to make a lead that is greater. Michael McDowell has now retired due to an engine failure. David Reagan's still in pit road. Ambrose holding right now a comfortable 1 second lead over Ryan Newman. Right now, Jeff Gordon, he's in... Whoa, Newman swings wide. Newman swings wide. There goes Gordon around Newman. And Stewart looking to capitalize as well. He will. So one little mistake by Ryan Newman, and the rest goes right by him. Shows you what one mistake gets you here in the MRNCS. You make that one little error, and the rest is history, my friends. Oh, whoa, the 9 way over the curbs. He's way on the outs. Oh, boy, Gordon and Stewart followed him in. But Gordon getting a huge run on Ambrose here through the S's. What can Gordon do? Is he going to look to pass Ambrose before the line? He will. He's side by side coming off the hairpin. The 9's going to have the advantage coming off the corner, but who's going to lead it back to the line? It's Ambrose. And Gordon fighting back with every bit of will he has. Ambrose not giving up. Gordon pushes Ambrose off the track. Stewart will go to second place. Crazy. So now we've got the 2 best road racers in NASCAR. Oh, Gordon. Oh, no. Oh. Stewart hit that wall a ton. Meanwhile, I hope he's okay. Meanwhile, we still have a race back to the line. Getting reports now that Stewart has the window net down. He is starting to climb from that car. He looks like he'll be okay. Luckily, that barrier gave a little bit. It wasn't a concrete barrier, wasn't a tire barrier, wasn't an Armco barrier, but The barrier was enough to give. Meanwhile, Gordon will come back across the line, and just a scary incident here for the number 14, Tony Stewart. Meanwhile, you see how many positions this costs Ambrose. You saw the 14 just go into that wall. Newman just spun Ambrose around. Johnson took second. Here's an onboard cam of Tony Stewart. Watch this. Oh, never even got into the grass either. He just stuck on the pavement. Nothing he could do. He was luckily able to angle that so he didn't hit head on. Ugh, there's a passenger view of it. And oh, looks like Kenseth got a little help from Kevin Harvick there. Interesting. Alright, on to highlights now. On that restart, Jimmie Johnson would get around Jeff Gordon and take the lead. Meanwhile, a little bit later on that lap, the 31 and the 4 well, no, they're not former teammates, so never mind. Yeah, they are. Former teammates get together and end up wrecking. Meanwhile, on lap 14, Jeff Gordon ends up getting tangled with Kyle Busch. This is big news for Matt Kenseth, as this all of a sudden becomes a huge points day for him. On lap 15, Martin Truex Jr., while being in third, swings way wide and loses 2 positions. On lap 17, Matteo Giuliano and the number 36 Tommy Baldwin Racing Machine would move into the top 10, passing Austin Dillon. And on lap 17, guess who comes to the lead? It's Kurt Busch. Not exactly a name that you would expect. And then on lap 17, I'll just put it out there, Boris said wrecks Danica Patrick. This is what happens when you get 2 really bad drivers right next to each other. And then Michael Annett, trying to miss the whole thing, just drives it into the tire barrier. On lap 23, Brad Keselowski and Brian Vickers would get together, both of them rear-ending a concrete barrier there. Not sure why that concrete barrier was there, but also Aric Almirola and Paul Menard getting involved. This will set up a 3 laps to go finish. And we look on that poster back there. What do we see? The greatest race car of all time, the Audi R8. After all, Sears Point was sponsored by Infineon at this point in time. Infineon, one of the biggest Audi Sport Team US sponsors, and Audi Sport North America sponsors for that matter. They really supported Audi from 2000 until 2003, so not surprised to see that barrier there. Now, we would like to mention, although this isn't true in real life, but if this was a real life race, hey, Matteo Giuliano driving the number 36 Golden Corral car, if he gets inside the top 10, finishes inside the top 10, hey, kids eat free. So, on Monday, kids will eat free if he finishes inside the top 10. I'll tell you what, Matteo is doing very well in that 36 car. We'll see if he's able to pick anyone off. Johnson, way wide. Giuliano looking for his 2nd straight top 5. He finished 3rd at Dover, I believe. He's looking to creep closer to the front and maybe even get into the top 3. Get a podium here. Meanwhile, Kurt Busch is gone. Matt Kenseth, what a huge points day for Kenseth. If he can maintain his position of 2nd, he will really gain points. And wow, the 36 swung way, had to have swung very wide, because he just got passed by the 5 and the 15, I believe. Marcus Ambrose, also from that incident with Tony Stewart, he's really recuperated. How about AJ Allmendinger right now? Allmendinger has just taken 2nd away from Matt Kenseth. Allmendinger. So the JTG Doherty Racing Machine of AJ Allmendinger, of course, one of NASCAR's better road course drivers. And how about, here's a name, Devon Williams. We have not spoken about him all race long. And currently his pupil, Matteo Giuliano, is in a position directly in front of him. And we see Brian Vickers in pit road for no apparent reason. Meanwhile, Kurt Busch, he goes a little wide here. We haven't seen that kill too much momentum off these cars, as long as they don't go too wide. And Edwards and Logano pound the wall. Caution flag is displayed. 51 also in the wall. Caution flag is out. We're going to take the white and yellow flag when we come to the line. All that Kurt Busch is going to have to do is coast it. Hopefully he doesn't blow up underneath yellow. Kurt Busch should be the winner of the safe Mark Kragen 150. How about Matteo Giuliano finishing in the 8th position, ahead of Devon Williams. Now this is pretty much all about patience now. Just don't wreck the car. Don't tear the car up on this final lap. Just pace yourself. You'll be fine. Kurt Busch should come out the winner of this. Luckily, I wasn't playing this live, so I could just fast forward through this. You're not going to wait too long. Alrighty. So, if this race holds out, nobody pulling to pit road, nobody pulling aside, your race standing should be Kurt Busch, AJ Allmendinger, Martin Truex Jr., Met Kenseth, Kasey Kahne. That's your top 5. And Kurt Busch gets into the back of the 55. He's fired up. He's good. He's good. He didn't beat up that car too bad. He's good. He just needs to limp that thing across the line anyways. Checkered flag waving, and at 35 miles per hour, Kurt Busch will win this race. After all of the luckily placed cautions, we finally get a race that ends underneath one. 26 drivers end up finishing the race. 27 drivers, rather, end up finishing the race. How about Boris Said finishing 19th? Very good for him. Max Pappas finishing 32nd. And most of the road course ringers did their job. Got a much better finish. Montoya, 17th. Anyways, see you next week.